This is Barbara Iris Sue of Parental World Knowledge. I want to welcome everyone, and I'm also the president of Artist Barbara Sue Fine Art. I hope everybody has their canvas. This will absorb the paint better. And in addition, you need to have watercolor paints that are my paints. There you go. And you get professional ones from the artist supply store. It makes the difference that you have non-toxic. And in addition, you should have professional brushes. You shouldn't be hairs. These are a few of the good ones. And I would suggest you have several, because there's different size areas that you need to work on your painting. And if you have two and say you have a wide area, like I'm doing grass, you can't be there all day, so you need a big one. So really you need several sizes, and you need an artist sponge, which is much like a regular sponge, but it's a little bit more porous and more flexible. So this is important. This, you can put the paint on, like you maybe have it too thick or it's running, whatever it is. You put it down, you bring it up, and it will take off the excess water and paint. It's marvelous to have. And then you also need colored pencils. Should be as close to your painting as possible. And you need a white, because most palettes don't have white. As you can see, there's no white in here. They don't give you white. I don't know why in most palettes. And there should be white, because you really need to mix. You're going to need, like if you want to make peach, you're going to need orange, and you're going to need the white. So put down the white. The white's already mixed with water, so you don't have to add water, but you do for the, the orange color. So, and you can mix on these little palettes they give you. See, it's little palettes here, so you can mix on there. As you can see, I did. I would also suggest, you can have a regular pencil, but you need an artist eraser. If you make mistakes when you're doing your line drawing, which can happen, and I would have a professional artist eraser. That's the only other thing. And I don't know what you're intending on painting. I mean, I did my puppy. You don't have to do, puppy. But you do need, if you don't have imagination, props. So, like if you want to do silk flowers, you will need some arrangement, silk flowers, and a nice vase. If you want to do wax fruit, I mean, I have that's fortunately perfect. Things like that. If you do paint from that, you do have to change it. You can't have it identical, because somebody else crafted the flower arrangement, and it's not fair that you would utilize what they did. So another thing, you can use, of course, a lot of people, If you don't have a live model that you can use, you can even go to an artist store and they have a wood model, and it has, the head that moves and arms that move and legs that move. So it's fantastic that, you can use that too. And with using that, it's just going to give you proportions. So you can use the identical proportions of that, because that's, something different. That's just to get proportions. You're not, it doesn't have a face or anything on it, so it's not, plagiarism by doing something like that. And if you want to use a pet, of course, that's great too. You can, use your pet and do identical, just like I said, a person. Or go out, in a field if you wanted to do horses or whatever it is. But I have to tell you, when you do something like that, you have to work fast, because those horses might not be in the same position next time. So you're going to have to really, if you're not prepared to do that, then I wouldn't suggest to do that right away. You have to work very fast in sketching. I once had to do that, and I sketched it, and I had the whole entire thing done in one day. But not everybody can do that. And I was age 14 at the time. So I was pretty advanced, always, thank God, because my late mother was a master artist. But I'm telling you, it was tough. It was tough my first time in doing that. And I see that unless you really, have someone that's mentoring you, and you have, right there, I had a mentor who was a master artist, so I was able to do this. But it's tough to get that same positioning. Same thing, I wouldn't suggest you do live flowers, because if you have fresh flowers, what's going to happen? They could die the next day, unless you did it in one day, and that's hard to finish a whole drawing in one day. So I would suggest that you just use the silk. It's much better, unless you're really, really quick in sketching. All right, and so now you just need to do a line drawing. Say you have, I don't know what you're drawing, but whatever it is, just the outline, like a big lemon I have here. You don't have to fill every line in. All right, and then you paint the rest in. I just had my client here, and my poor puppy is exhausted. He was playing so much with him, and I took him out a lot of times. And he had a little harrowing night. He had been chewing on a branch yesterday, and I told him it's a little big and not to do it, but he just insisted, and he broke his little tooth. So at first I got so scared. Oh my God, I saw blood, and I thought maybe he picked something up that my son dropped, God forbid. I heard my son, drop something, some food and things. He was cooking in the kitchen, and I thought maybe, he picked something up. I ran over there, hearing him whimpering, and I just can't, see anything. And I asked my son. He says, "No, I didn't drop anything. I picked everything up." And usually a lot of times he does, but this time he didn't. And I can have that happen if they're teething a lot, and he's teething a lot. He's a black lab and Chihuahua. So the poor thing, he just had the hardest time, with the falling out the tooth and it bleeding. And I've mentioned before that he switched from his dog food because it didn't agree with him. It was constipating him. And I said how he was taking 12 hours to go to the bathroom, like off and on. So 12 times I had to take him. Oh my God, I was so happy that he finally had his movement. The poor guy. Imagine he didn't have his movement all that time. it was it takes him hours and hours and hours before he'll get it out. That's why I take him out 12 times to finally get it out. But he had 3 times he made last night, so I know finally he's getting back on the right track. He went back to the one that was good before, but somebody gave us a big 50-pound bag. You know, it was an enormous bag, and you know, someone wanted us to finish it. I told him no, it's not good. It's definitely causing that, and he never had a puppy before, and he didn't think so. He didn't think that was it. And I go, yes, it is. And sure enough, we just switched for 2 days, and now all of a sudden he can make like this 3 times. Oh my God! And one night it was all in him. Oh, poor thing. And I was giving him some table scraps too, but you know, some chicken, and he likes turkey. But he just couldn't make like that until he went back to the Purina. Thank God. Purina Complete. They have a great food for the puppy. Has everything in it. And he loves it. And again, the little biscuits. And he just adores it. Now, when you do this, you do gentle strokes, just little strokes. And don't worry about it being perfect. Just, you know, enjoy. That's how my mom taught me, you know, never worry about it being perfect. I just had my client here, and he's like worried about it being perfect. I said, no. I says, look, you can make mistakes. And with watercolor, you're layering anyway. So if you make, you know, that's okay. But he's doing great because he's doing Yankee Stadium. I mentioned it before in the earlier show. And so many colors, so much curves, and it's not easy. And there's a lot of grass. He had it, you know, painted, and he's learning to paint the grass. Of course, there's a lot more to do, but he's getting there. He's getting there. And I don't even know how he's doing it. You know, this is a person, I don't know if you watched before, but I said he has Parkinson's, so it's difficult. He's shaking, you know, from the disease, but he's doing it. And God bless him. He wanted to hold the dog, and the dog's moving all on his lap, and he's trying to hold the dog, and I go, Robert, you're not going to be able to do that. He's like, it's bad enough that he's, you know, he's shaking without the dog, but the dog was moving all on his lap. I can paint with the dog on my lap, but it's not easy either. But I can do it, and I love holding him. But there are times, you know, he moves too much, and I have to put him down too. But he does move a lot when he's on me, and I've painted fine with him on me. I mean, he'd have to be moving a heck of a lot. But I'm glad that he's enjoying his painting, and I'm inspiring him because he's even thinking he'd like to go to the reservation and paint the skyline that goes to New York. So I think that's fantastic. But of course, it's a little too cold right now, but that would be a great thing to paint. I could see that, definitely. I would like to do it myself. In fact, I did a contest once that involved with maps, and I had took a picture of where that beautiful reservation where they have the view of Manhattan, and we were the stronghold that saved the colonists from getting defeated by the British. And I didn't know that when I first moved here. I found out that recently, just last year. And that's interesting that our West Orange colonists did the stronghold of defeating the British right where that reservation is. Isn't that something that our own people saved the war? Colonists couldn't stand that, that the British were taking over, and they joined in with the soldiers. Wow. And, that was like about 200 years ago. And God bless that they defeated the British. And it was because of the site, the fact that the British could not cross. They were defeated because of the stronghold of that point. That our country was. It's amazing that just one little lookout point has so geography, it just a landmark, a natural landmark saved us. Boy, if our country wasn't, with that beautiful lookout point, this could have been now England, part of England. Interesting, so interesting, huh? All natural land saved us in the war. And the colonists were very brave. They weren't trained. They weren't trained to fight. They just picked up the muskets and just did their thing. They weren't going to let them take our country from us. Our land, our country. And I give a lot of respect to those colonists of West Orange. So this is some town that has a history. Such a great history. And it's interesting. I didn't learn that in school. I'm rather surprised. I went to school in West Orange. I was here since I was 9, and I never heard that until just last year. I was great in history. I got A's, but I never learned that. We never. It's surprising our school didn't teach that. It's our town. I knew we won the war, but I didn't know it was actually the stronghold from West Orange, New Jersey. Small world. Had my own town. How lucky can you get? Well, it was a beautiful day today, but it was a little cold. In West Orange, New Jersey. I just saw my neighbor get into his car without a coat, and his wife was saying, "Why aren't you wearing your coat?" He only had a sweater on. I'm thinking to myself, how in the world could he go without a coat? And I even said something because I said, "Go get your coat. It's freezing out. You get sick. That's how you get sick. Even for just a few minutes, you're getting into the car, and if it's that cold and wind is blowing, you get sick. God forbid." So people bundle up all around our area. And I just can't understand why people would jeopardize their health. If it's cold, put on a coat. And he's not a poor person. He has a lot of money. He definitely can afford a coat. I'm sure he has a braided coat. Probably has a cashmere coat. But I can't figure it out for the life of me why he only put you can't be that much of a hurry. You can't. Just can't. Well, getting back to my puppy, when he had that happen, I made sure he drank a lot of water with his, tooth falling out and a little bit of bleeding. And then, in addition, I gave him his little bone, which goes in the freezer. So, to stop the bleeding. And he was fine. Thank God. But, excuse me. It just was a rough night. The fact that, it got me sad. I didn't know what it was at first because I never had a puppy teeth that much and a tooth break and bleeding. I never saw it happen. So I was unaware. I've had many puppies and dogs, and never had that happen. So, but he teased a lot, really teased a lot, and so many things outside and inside the house. So, and I give him teething toys and this frozen bone and all that, but and plenty of cookies, but it's still, he's teething things he shouldn't be. Like I said, the hard branch. I tried to tell him not to, but he just continued. All right, so little platinum nose, I pray, he's resting now. He really had a very bad night. I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't think that his tooth would fall out. I never would think that. It was so hard to believe. About 6 months, I wasn't expecting that. And I did read that, it's normal for certain ones that teeth a lot, and he's one of the ones that teeth a lot. But not every puppy goes through that. He's going through it because he's, part Chihuahua and part Black Lab, and they are big teethers. I heard from someone that had a Black Lab that they teeth tremendously. And I don't know. I'm just they're very other dogs. Both are. Chihuahua is a very active dog, and Black Lab both. So I guess that's why. And he loves to take a challenge. I mean, he's going after a tree and getting a real big branch. And I'm going, oh my God, all these other branches are going in his face. And I'm so nervous. And I said, please, please go to his, smaller branch. And he's still doing it. That's how it happened. His tooth fell out. I don't know why he wants to go for the biggest branch, but he does. That's the way he is. Platinums. He's just a power goer. And he just is a very happy boy. And he loves outside. Hey, honey. Want to say hello to people? He just got up from his nap. Miraculous healing prayer if you need it. And wish you peace, strength, and good health. Amen. For everyone in the world. Yes, Potty Nose. There's the baby. Getting to be a big boy. I think he'll be a mid-sized dog. He's not part Chihuahua, so he can't be too big. But the Black Lab, they're pretty big, so I think he'll be mid-sized because of a combination of both. Sweetest baby. I just hope I can continue to take care of him because he is so strong. My neighbor across the street said, 40 years old, younger than I am. And she said, he is so strong. Well, I have good upper body strength. It's the lower part where I was injured. So, but I just hope and pray I have the strength because he just keeps getting bigger and stronger. So, and he doesn't calm down, they say, until at least a year. So I got 6 more months. So pray for me. I've been saying that, and I'll say it again. Please pray for me that I'll be okay. All right, and so I'm just going to give a little more layering to the black. Third layer. Oh, there's the phone, excuse me. Bar speaking. Who's calling, please? Oh, I see. Well, I did get a call from Reverse Mortgage, somebody else, and I did state that he passed away. So thank you. Well, I do know about it, and I believe with the reverse mortgage, you get about half of, well, maybe a little more than that, maybe 3/4 of the value of the house. But in my case, since I'm disabled, I would probably get, I guess, about half because I know you have to pay back Social Security, SSI, you know, so it'd probably be that. Right now I'm doing a reality show and I can't really talk about it, but I do appreciate, you know, I know that there's reverse mortgage. Oh, someone told me that. Oh. 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 Well, somebody not from reverse mortgage, but somebody else told me from another thing for doing the reverse mortgage, you know, process. And they told me the incorrect information. They said that they would take out from that too, which at the time we didn't do it because that idiot told me that. Oh my God. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 So then, so it would be about three-quarters of the value, and then nothing else deducted. And hmm, that's interesting. Well, we. Mhm, 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 mhm. Right. Well, you know, I will talk to my son because he's still residing here with me, and our plan might be to. This is, you know, what I'm thinking, and this is what we were thinking to do, like in 2 years, to sell this house. So we might not do that. You know, I have to see what's going to happen. Um, but if I do, we're going to get another house, and then I wouldn't have to pay back SSI because I'm going to be, you know, living in that, intending on living in that house. If that doesn't happen, then I would have to do this because really it's too costly for me. So, okay, I thank you, but I'm on a reality show right now. It's my own art reality show, and I can't talk anymore. But that's interesting. I just told the whole world reverse mortgage is a very good thing, and I thank you for, you know, your time. At the time, we didn't do it because of not because of not because of the not because of the SSI thing. I mean, somebody else told me that, but it was because they said if I did it with my father, that it would be um, probably about half of the value of the house. Put the house in my name, you know, with the deed, and they said because I'm be taking over. Well, no, that was reverse mortgage. It's good to have for seniors, but I couldn't do it at the time. It would have been half off, and I thought even more. You know, later someone said something more, but I just stopped because I didn't want it half off if I took over. But and he would lose out on look back taxes as a veteran. But you know, it would be probably three-quarters of value if I did it. So that wouldn't be bad. We'll have to see what we're going to do. My son's intentions was to fix the house in 2 years, sell it. We'll see. We'll see what's going to be. And then we'll get another home. But I don't know if we're going to continue with that. We'll see what we'll do. But I think I might do the reverse mortgage because then you know, so I think I might do that. And then my son, if God willing, I'll leave that for him. He'll get at least something out of it, and that's it. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going to be. I didn't realize that I could get like 3/4 of it and not have to worry about SSI too. So I thought they'd take something. That's only if I sell it later. So that's a good thing. And I might do that. I'll call back reverse mortgage if I am interested. But definitely, there needs to be repair on the house. And there was one other thing I could do too, because I could make it a museum here. But then, I have public open to the public all the time. But I think reverse mortgage sounds good. I think I should do that. At the same time, having reverse mortgage, I could rent, because this house needs a lot of repair. And in order to we always fix things. Thank God my father never let things sit. Well, we'll see. It's interesting that you can get so much for the house. And I didn't realize 3/4 of value. So that should be fine. I would be able to fix up the house and stay in it, and I need additional money for fixing it. I could definitely rent it too, because there is definitely $50,000 in fixing. We already went through this, and we had approved by the town, and it was definitely needed. We had to make new bathrooms. We had to fix the kitchen, because just too small a kitchen, and really the dining room is very small. So definitely need improvements. And the porch, we would move the dining room to also part of the porch and enclose it. So it was never a good porch. It was nice going out there, but it was always the way the roof was slanted, not as an architect, so he realized it should have been slanted more. So all that needs to be fixed. And we've had it, fixed every time it would start to leak. We always had it fixed, but it wasn't designed right, so it's ridiculous. You gotta change the design. I just thought it got, worn out, but no, my son's an architect, so he knows. It's great having him as an architect, so you know what we're doing. And he's doing the repair. So he has a friend helping him, as I told everybody earlier shows. And I just hope that we can do this without doing reverse mortgage. But I don't know. Really, I'm a little worried. How are we going to get all those repairs in? And then, trying to find another house that we could buy in your location. It's playing mother and daughter, kind of thing. It's a son and daughter. They don't say son. They usually say mother and daughter. Most sons don't live with a parent, but my son, thank God, he has. Daughter. Most sons don't have, I guess, the patience or tolerance. Which isn't always easy. I admit it. If it was a girl, it would be easier. Well, at any rate, I hope everyone has a good day or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And we'll be back tomorrow. So thank you so much. And you take care. I look forward to giving you another lesson. And hopefully you refer people. And I thank you if you have. I know there's so many wonderful people that are referring people to us. And you just have a great night. I hope that you will keep doing your painting, be inspired. If you need anything with learning colors better, other than just watching us, I would go to the library and take a book out on colors, so that get a little more help. And if you want to have a lesson one-on-one, as opposed to being on the live reality show, it is free. It's 973-736-1637. You can have a private lesson. They're only $24 an hour, or $12 if you do 8 pre-lessons. 8 prepaid lessons, only 12. That's a bargain, half the price. We can do the reality show for free, just if you're ready to do that. And that would be, again, about 5 o'clock to 6. We're here 9 to 5, Monday through Sunday, that you can call us, and you can have your private lesson with artist Barbara Elsie Fine Art Studio, or we're going to be live. It's going to be 5 to 6 approximately, and you'll be live on the air. And you still get, it's basically one-on-one, but you're going to have the world watching you. So if you're not ready, then I would wait and do some private lessons first. And I thank you so much. You have, again, a great night or a great day. Bye now.